I started playing bass because my dad, he bought a left-handed Fender Jazz when I was a kid, because I was quite handy, quite a good drummer as a kid, you know, and he was just like, okay, I'll leave Pete to that, I'm going to play bass. And he was a left-handed guy, you know, so he bought this left-handed Fender Jazz, and you know, I used to watch him, he used to leave, you know, I used to go out in the car and I'd get the Fender bass out and I'd turn it the other way and just start hitting it like this. Because, you know, bass playing is drumming. You know, rhythm is stronger than melody. Rhythm is the strongest thing that we all dance to rhythm. We don't dance to melodies, you know what I mean? So I just started playing the bass, and, you know, my dad was just like, oh, God, look at it, all right, you want a bass now? So then I used to tune the bass. I used to take the strings off the bass and put them the other way, but I could only fit the first 3 strings on because the E string wouldn't reach the the G, you know. So, yeah, and, you know, and from that, from getting in and playing a musical director's role in certain projects, you know, it started opening me up to doing my own project, PB Underground, and there I built a studio, and you know, like I write songs now, but I write them from playing bass. It all comes from the bass, like a riff bass, and then the other guys come in and put their stuff on top. So yeah, that's where I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a working bass player, because I just, you know, because I work with so many great bass players, so I'm just like, you know, I'll stick to drumming live and I'll leave the bass players. But in the studio, yeah, bass, guitar, bit of keyboards, you know, and produce. But I do like MDing. That's cool. PB Underground, PBUG. Well, it was a case of because I played with some of my heroes, I was just like, man, what the hell do I do now? You know, what do you do when you play with your heroes? So I was like, well, I'm going to set my own project up, you know. So, and I had all these great musicians around London who was doing pop gigs and stuff like that. And I explained what I wanted to do, this sort of like James Brown, you know, sort of Earth, Wind and Fire project, you know, and we started off doing like covers, and then it blossomed into an original project, which then I had to build a studio, and off the back of building a studio, it took me 2 years to make the record. But I just used all my friends and like fantastic horn players, horn arrangers, great guitarists, bass players, keyboard players, and most of all fantastic singers, you know. It's very funky, it's very soulful, there's elements of rock and roll in there, there's elements of jazz, hip hop, you know, but most of all funk soul, you know.